So this is our little Google Analytics 101. This is going to be a really brief overview on analytics, and we can follow up with some more content off the back of this. So once you've installed Google Analytics, this is what your dashboard will look like. And I'm just going to stay here and talk through these four main metrics. These are probably the key metrics that you'll be looking at on a day-to-day. So the first one here is users. Users, pretty straightforward. It's a visitor who has initiated a session on your website. This is an unduplicated number here, so keep that in mind. The sessions part, so basically as soon as a user enters onto your website, the session will start. Within that session, that user will have multiple interactions. So they'll view pages, they'll click buttons, they'll do all of the things. A session is measured based on 30 minutes. So if there is 30 minutes or more of inactivity, the session stops. So if you are on a website and you're interacting and then you go to lunch and you're at lunch for 35 minutes and you come back, that basically will initiate a new session. Bounce rate. So this is one of the most important parts to look at, particularly like leaning into your website's user experience. So bounce rate measures the percentage of people that land on your website, gosh, I can't speak, and do nothing. So they enter in on a particular page and they don't engage. So they're not clicking anything and they leave. That is that percentage. So basically the higher percentage the bounce rate is, the more people are just jumping on and leaving. You want to try and minimize or get this bounce rate to be as low as possible. Industry average is around 26 to 40%. And then session duration is pretty straightforward. So it's the amount of time that people are spending on average on your website. Hopefully that all makes sense. Next, we'll go into how to install. Okay, now the next part is where we're going to install the Google Analytics code. So the first thing you want to do is go to analytics.google.com. And if you don't or have never had an analytics account before, there'll be a blue button, it should be the top right, which says start for free. Click on that, and then it will ask you to log into your Gmail, so do so. And then you should get to this part, the create account section. So create your account. So I'm going to do a client, putting there, oh, it'd be good if I could spell, putting in the client's name, and I'm going to label it as Google Analytics and Google Analytics 4. So I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. So hit next. Then you want to top line the property name. So I'm going to do a similar thing. It's the client. So that's the properties that we're tracking. Then pop in the correct time zone. And then the correct currency as well. Next, we're going to click into Show Advanced Options. So the reason why we're going to do this is we're going to install two different types of analytics reporting. So there's what's called Universal Analytics, which is sort of the standard measurement, and then Google have brought in a new interface, I guess, which is called GA4. I still work out of Universal Analytics. It is all going to change come 1st of July, as you can see, next year, but just for ease of use today, we're going to switch this on. Now, pop in your website's URL, just make sure if it is secured or unsecured that you select the correct HTTPS. So I have a secured website, so I'm going to do this. So it's basically if you have an SSL certificate installed on the site or not. And then we're going to make sure that this is selected, create both Google Analytics 4 and Universal, and then enable enhanced measurement, hit next. Then we need to fill out a little bit more information about the business. So fill that in relevant to your business, and then select the key metrics that you want to measure as a part of having analytics on your website. Once that's done, click create. Then you'll need to accept the terms of service agreement. And then we are in. So what will now populate is the data stream. So basically that's telling us that this is the URL that we will be tracking. And then once you sort of arrow down a little bit, you can see global site tag. So this is the code that we need to install onto our website in order for Google Analytics to start tracking. So I'm just going to select this little copy button here, and then I'm going to I'm going to do the WordPress site first, just to show you how that works. So here I am in my WordPress site. I've selected appearance, then I've selected theme editor, and then on the right hand panel here, you're going to look for header PHP. Our code needs to sit within the header, and basically that means that it will populate on or track every single page on the website. So see this green head code here, I'm just going to copy right underneath that, and then I'm going to select update file. If you have a nice web developer friend, they should be able to help you with this as well. So file has been edited successfully. That's great news. Give it maybe 3 or so minutes and start to see within your analytics dashboard your traffic. I wanted to show you how to install analytics onto a Shopify CMS. So I realize that that's probably one of the most popular. And on Shopify, it's so easy. So as long as you have this UA code here, so for this particular client, it's 230269017. Once you've got that, you pop into Shopify, go into online store, and then go into preferences. And then all you need to do here is just copy that little piece of code there. Ensure that use enhanced e-commerce is switched on too, just to make sure that you can track absolutely everything, and then just hit save in your bottom right and you are good to go.